Okay, you guys, we are back with another video, honey. And Rocky is out here in the streets, honey. The first time we're seeing a member of the family since that shooting took place at Riri's Beverly Hills mansion on Sunday, March 8th at around 1:30 p.m. Now, in case you have been caught up in life and tangled in the webs of life, I'm here to catch you up to speed. So on Sunday, March 8th, there's this woman. She's crazy, okay? She has been institutionalized before involuntarily by the Florida State Department, okay? The police, they were like, woman, you're out here doing too much. She has been pew-pewing at people, getting in trouble with people, filing lawsuits against Live Nation, which is connected to Rock Nation, to shut down a Billie Eilish concert. The judge was like, no, the concert received all the city approval. They did all the paperwork. And the time that you're filing this injunction to block the concert has passed. So the judge was like, no. Also, there was a humongous lawsuit between Live Nation and the State Department, which the State Department settled with Live Nation. The internet believes that this is all intertwined to Riri. I don't see the connection, but people always have difference of opinion. So on Sunday, March 8th, Rihanna was home with Rocky. She was in a Airstream trailer at her Beverly Hills mansion, so Rocky and Riri were in the Airstream trailer. Rihanna's kids, they were in the mansion with their grandma, with their nanny, with the chef. There were a total of 10 people on the property Sunday, March 8th at around 1:30 p.m. when this lady that is on Sound Mind, Ivana Lizette Ortiz, she went gun blazing. She fired a total of 10 shots. 3 bullets hit the hair streamer that Rihanna and Rocky was in. Yes, honey. And bullets hit 2 neighbors' houses. One of the bullets penetrated inside of Rihanna's dwelling. So 2 days after the shooting, Riri packed her things with her kids and they left that Beverly Hills mansion. Ivana Lizette Ortiz, she was in court on March 10th. It is said that Riri was in the courtroom as well. We saw the video of the courtroom, but we didn't see the shooter, Ivana Lizette Ortiz, and we did not see Rihanna in that video either. But it is said that, she was there. Both parties were there. Now, ever since that shooting, there hasn't been much update, and the internet has been concerned because what the internet is saying is that the police department normally releases like surveillance video footage of, such incident. But in this case, we're not seeing any surveillance footage. Also, naturally, like if you're thinking about this, collectively or with clarity, naturally, one of the first things that's going to come to your head is that this woman was staking out Rihanna's property before she carried out the shooting. The police department also believes there might be several perpetrators involved, but at the time of the arrest, it was just Ivana Lizette Ortiz who was in the Tesla at the time. She drove from Florida to California to shoot up Rihanna's mansion. Now, there's no further update on the alleged other perpetrators that might be involved or the Hispanic male, but Rocky is out and about for the very first time since Rihanna's house was shot up, and Rocky seems as though he's out here on business. So, according to reports, Rocky was spotted for the first time in public since Rihanna was at home during a frightening incident where her house was shot up earlier this month. And we have the pics, right? That's what TMZ is saying. We all have the pics at this point, right? Now, the rapper was snapped carrying a large red leather bag over his shoulder, carrying a graphic jacket layered over his hooded as he walked down a New York City street Sunday night, 1 week after the shooting. Now, as you know, Rihanna was at home with their 3 children when an assailant fired multiple rounds into her Los Angeles house on Sunday, March 8th. Okay? And officers quickly found the alleged shooter, Ivana Lizette Ortiz, and placed her under arrest. This woman needs to be in a psychiatric facility. She needs to be in a self-hugging jacket and not let out because she has been out here doing a lot. Now, Ortiz was booked into the LA County Jail for attempted murder and bail was set at a whopping $10,225,000. She has since then been charged with 1 count of attempted murder, 9 counts of assault with a firearm, and 2 counts of shooting into an inhabited dwelling, and 1 count of shooting at a motor vehicle. So the motor vehicle that they're talking about is the Airstreamer that was parked on Rihanna's property, right? That's the Airstreamer that Rihanna and Rocky was in at the time of the shooting incident. Now, even though this report is saying that the bail was set at a whopping $10,225,000, the bail was later reduced to $1 million and change. Now, after I review the details of the court documents to see, because many people were concerned as to why is it that her bail was reduced, and many of my subscribers and viewers were asking why it is that her bail was reduced. So I did some checks and I found the court documents that was attached, and it says that her bail was reduced because she is mentally unwell. So even though they're saying it is premeditated, she's not there. The court is also saying that they have document. Her history shows that she is mentally unwell because she was placed on a involuntary psychiatric hold by the Florida Police Department a couple years ago, right? And it was involuntary, like she was out here batshit wild crazy, so much so that they had to put her on a psychiatric hold. Not only that, she, as I've said, she has carried out shooting acts before, but she used an assault rifle, an AR-15. So what the police is saying is that, how is it that she drove a car and fired a high-powered rifle like that at the same time? She was driving at high speed, firing a high assault rifle, which is why they are adamant that there had to be at least one other perpetrator involved. But honey, when people are crazy, they can do anything, okay? They'll do anything. But we haven't heard any further updates as yet, but this lady, Ivana Lizette Ortiz, she has a history. She has assaulted her husband, beat up the man, yes, and then she went to the police and said that her husband was abusing her. When the police conducted their investigation, the police discovered that it was the other way around. She also has lost custody of her son over a year ago, wherein she cannot communicate with her son, not even through a third party. If she wants to communicate with a child, she will have to go back to court, and the court would have to recommend her to undergo the necessary psychiatric evaluation to see if she is coherent enough to have even a third party conversation with her child. So that should give you some idea of how wild this lady is. But I hope that she gets the help that she needs, because honey, it seems as though she was under some spiritual psychosis as well, because she's always having religious books in every video that they've seen online. But that's the latest update. Let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna talk some more in the comment section. Peace.
Today I am here to announce the charges that have been filed against Ivana Lizette Ortiz, a 35-year-old woman from Orlando, Florida, in connection with the case in which she has now been arraigned. And by the way, that arraignment date has now been continued to March 25th. The charges that have been filed against Ms. Ortiz include 1 count of attempted murder, 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. Any charges that have been filed, as I've said very often, are just that. They are not the evidence that we are presenting in court. That evidence will be presented in court at the appropriate time, at which point we intend to convict Ms. Ortiz of all the charges which have been leveled at this point beyond a reasonable doubt to either a judge or a jury. But summarizing the allegations that exist so far, on March 8th at approximately 1:20 p.m., Ms. Ortiz is accused of driving up to the residence of Rihanna, at which point she fires from her semi-automatic weapon multiple times at the residence. In that residence, Rihanna was there with her partner, her 3 children, her mother, and 2 staff people, representing 8 of the 10 of the counts of dealing with an assault with a semi-automatic firearm. In addition, Ms. Ortiz is accused of firing at a neighboring residence that had 2 additional individuals. That is why there are 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. And there are 3 felony counts of shooting at inhabited dwellings. There are actually 2 dwellings at Rihanna's residence. There's a Airstream camper in which 2 individuals were located, as well as a house on that property, and then there was the neighboring property. That is why there are 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. What happened after Ms. Ortiz shot at these various residences and people is that she then traveled through Beverly Hills, eventually ending up in Sherman Oaks. And then at that point, within hours, she was arrested. I very much want to appreciate and publicly thank both the Los Angeles Police Department and the Beverly Hills Police Department for their very quick, timely, and prompt actions leading to the arrest of Ms. Ortiz on these charges. Ms. Ortiz, if and when convicted of these charges, is facing up to life in state prison. Her bail has been set by the court at $1,875,000. And part of the reason I wanted to convey this message is as follows. I want everyone to understand in this county that you should absolutely feel safe in your residence and in your neighborhood and in your community. That safety is something we will work incredibly hard to protect.
A plea on behalf of the client, you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement of rights, including Armed Forces and Veterans Rights Center, plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, and crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
The plea of not guilty is entered on behalf of your client.
Your Honor, first will actually be waiving time for arraignment plea for 2 weeks.
So you're requesting to...
Yes,
okay, so to what date? I'm sorry.
We can get 2 weeks from today.
The not guilty plea entered by this court is withdrawn. Counsel is requesting to waive time for arraignment of the plea to March 25th, 2026. Ms. Ortiz, you have a statutory or constitutional right to be arraigned today. Your counsel is requesting that your arraignment be continued to March 25th, 2026. Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment can be heard on March 25th, 2026?
Yes.
Is counsel joining the waiver?
So done.
The court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of her right to a speedy arraignment and that her counsel joins in that waiver. Both agree that the next court date of March 25th, 2026 is the date of the arraignment.
Yes.
Counsel, do you have a protective order?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a protective order that I currently I'll approach with the order. And is the court setting bail on this matter?
Counsel reserving?
Yes.
Counsel is reserving. The court will set bail at $1,875,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Ortiz, at this time, the court will issue the protective order. The protected persons are Robin Penty and Raycom Myers. The court finds good cause to issue the protective orders and will order that you not harass, strike, threaten, assault, follow, stalk, molest, destroy, damage personal or real property, disturb the peace, keep under surveillance, or block the movements of the protected persons. You must have no contact with the protected persons. That means no in-person, no telephonic, no electronic contact. You're not to own or buy or try to buy or receive a firearm or ammunition. If you have any firearms or ammunition, you must surrender them to local law enforcement or store them with a licensed gun dealer within 24 hours of this order. Additionally, if you surrender or store those items, you must file a receipt with the court within 48 hours of this order. You're not to, the court finds good cause to order that you not be in the possession of firearms or firearm parts or ammunition. You're not to own or buy or possess body armor. Additionally, you must not attempt to or prevent any victim or witness from making any reports to law enforcement or from testifying at a hearing. You must have no contact, once again, with those two protected persons. You must stay 100 yards away at least from the protected person's home, job, vehicle, and from. You must also, the protected persons may record any prohibited communications made by you. You'll be personally served with a copy of the protective order in open court. No additional proof of service is required. Should the defendant post bail somehow, if bond is posted, the court will, in addition to ordering compliance with the protective order and forced violence weapons condition, the court will also order GPS monitoring. And that's, once again, in the event Ms. Ortiz is able to post that bond. Anything further?
Nothing from the bench.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing from the people.
Our unit's position on the 18th of correction on the shooting just occurred 9550 Heather Road. Suspect vehicle is a white Tesla Model 3 with brown position on incident 1921.
Wilshire Pacific clear. 71 Roger.
Air 10, have a possible southbound Woodcliff from Mulholland. Let me verify a plate here real quick. If you can have units start heading this way.
Air 10 has possible suspect vehicle southbound Woodcliff from Holland. Requesting a study unit start the response.
Air 10 broadcasting on both West LA and Van Nuys. Possible shooting suspect northbound Woodcliff from Mulholland in a white Tesla. Paper plate David Paul 3 Edward 1. And just verifying the plate. I haven't verified it, but it is dirty on the bottom, which matches the suspect's vehicle description.
Air 10 has a possible shooting suspect northbound Woodcliff from Mulholland. Correction, southbound Woodcliff from Mulholland. David Paul 3 Edward 1. David Paul 3 Edward 1 with dirt under the vehicle. White Tesla Model 3.
Since we're in that vehicle. And information, suspect driver was a female, blonde hair, and West LAD. What was the shooter's description?
It's going to be a female Hispanic with blonde hair in her 30s.
And the suspect's a female Hispanic, blonde hair, and braids.
Suspect number 1 is a female Hispanic, blonde hair, 30 years. This shot is in 1921.
It's going to be, she's going to be wearing a cream-colored blouse.
71. Michelle Marie Ferguson, license status expired.
That last?
Off-white, cream color.
71 Roger.
Hispanic 41 is asking, is there a unit already following the vehicle, or do they need someone to follow?
You're like 2 in front of you, just made the left turn.
Any West LA unit from?
To be right turn southbound onto Sepulveda from Valley Vista. I do have a West LA unit getting behind it. Westbound.
Surgeon has a vehicle southbound.
West LA unit behind it. West LA, just verify that plate for me.
Area has one officer behind the suspect vehicle, right turn northbound, Toledo from Valley Vista.
8X36 shows following the possible shooting suspect vehicle. We're going to be northbound on the Vista.
41, Valley Bureau Tech 1, Channel 41, Valley Bureau Tech 1, Channel 41.
Agent 33, repeat across this Sepulveda.
Gonna be at Greenleaf.
Greenleaf.
There's northbound Sepulveda at Greenleaf. And primary, just verify that is the plate.
Okay, 32 following this.
Okay, good plate. They're making a right turn into the mall parking lot, into the Regal, and they're going to be out of my sight. You guys can call. I'll forward on the tech.
Here's northwest Florida Ventura, right hand turn into the mall parking lot of the Regal.
And be advised, this is a good shooting suspect.
75, so you can stack up problem call.
Yeah, they have the vehicle. Driver is out on his knees, or they're approaching the vehicle now.
Drivers out of the vehicle, units are approaching the vehicle. Driver's on his knees.
Hey, Welsh Unit 030, we're in there, 1026 South Crescent Heights Boulevard, residence incident 2013.
Copy that. One suspect in custody.